Welcome to the deep dive. Hey, just quickly, if you're looking for a way to give your social media profiles a bit of a kickstart, you might want to check out rapidboost.net. Okay, let's jump right in. Social media for small business growth in 2025. It definitely feels like things are always changing, right?
Oh, absolutely. You blink and there's a new platform or the algorithm's different again. It can feel like trying to hit a moving target.
Exactly, and that constant flux can be pretty overwhelming. But that's why we're doing this deep dive today. We're digging into a really solid guide to pull out the key strategies, the things that actually work for small businesses trying to, well, not just survive, but really get ahead on social media this year.
Right. The aim here is to give you actionable stuff, strategies you can actually use for growth without drowning you in jargon.
Yeah, we want you to walk away feeling like you've got a handle on this. So, okay, let's set the scene first.
Yeah.
What does the social media world actually look like right now in 2025? What are the main things we need to grasp?
Well, think brutally competitive. That's the first thing. And algorithms. They're basically king. They're pushing video content like crazy, especially short form video.
Hmm.
And there's a huge move towards AI personalizing everything so your feed looks different from mine. But maybe the biggest shift is this demand for like real brand authenticity.
So less of the super polished, perfect corporate look.
Way less. People want to see the real deal, the behind the scenes, and the scale. It's massive. Data Reportal's latest numbers say 4.9 billion people are on social media.
Wow, that's over 60% of the global population.
Exactly. Huge opportunity, but also, yeah, intense competition. And it's not just Facebook and Instagram anymore. TikTok, LinkedIn, even Threads.
Yeah.
They're major players, especially with Gen Z and millennials.
And what do those users want? What are they looking for from brands?
They want quick, snackable content, stuff that's relatable,
Yeah.
and interactive. They expect brands to act, well, human, to respond, to engage for real, just blasting out posts. That doesn't fly anymore. The algorithms are smart now. They prioritize stuff that gets real interaction, comments, shares, saves, things that keep people on the platform longer and offer genuine value.
So it's a much more demanding playground. Where does a small business even start to make an impact?
Okay, so strategy number one, according to the guide we looked at, is pretty clear. Double down on short form, high value video.
Short form video, so Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Those 15 to 60-second clips, right now they're getting much better organic reach on these platforms.
Why is that? What makes them so effective?
Well, they grab attention instantly, right?
Mm.
In a scrolling feed, they just pop. Plus, they can create an emotional connection really quickly, and they're great for driving action, like clicking a link or checking something out.
Hmm. And is this actually translating into results for businesses, not
Yeah.
just, funny videos?
Oh, definitely. Real results. The guide gives a great example. Yogi Tea, they're an independent tea company. They grew their Instagram followers by 220% in just 6 months.
Wow, 220%.
By using quirky behind-the-scenes reels and starting these user challenges, it wasn't polished ads. It was like real relatable stuff, showing how they make the tea, maybe a fun little hack, getting customers involved. That connection worked wonders.
Okay, that makes sense. So what specific types of videos should small businesses focus on?
The guide suggests a few strong contenders. How-tos and tutorials are great quick tips related to your product.
Right.
Day-in-the-life vlogs showing the people behind the brand, that humanizes things. Customer story spotlights turning happy customers into like mini advocates.
Oh, I like that.
And jumping on relevant trends and challenges, but putting your own unique spin on them.
That still sounds like it could be a lot of work, especially for a small team.
It can be, yeah. And that's where the tools come in. The guide mentions things like CapCut, Lumen 5, Canva's video tools. They make editing easier, add captions automatically, which is super important.
Yeah, because people watch with the sound off a lot.
Exactly. And they offer templates. Plus, some AI tools are even helping generate script ideas based on what's trending. It really lowers the barrier to entry.
Okay, cool. So video is foundational. What's the next big strategic shift we need to understand for 2025?
Okay, the next one is about shifting focus from just big follower counts, those vanity metrics, to really nurturing what the guide calls micro communities. It's about building true brand advocacy.
Micro communities, so like smaller, more focused groups.
Exactly. It's strategic. Instead of chasing thousands of maybe passive followers, you focus on cultivating a smaller group, maybe just 100 to 1,000 people who are really engaged.
Hmm.
These are the people who comment, share, buy, and actually talk about your brand because they feel a genuine connection. They're worth way more than passive likes. It's about that two-way street.
So quality over quantity, basically. A deeper bond with a core group.
You got it. And there are ways to build these. Private Facebook or LinkedIn groups work well for exclusive tips or early access. Discord or WhatsApp channels can be great for creating like VIP circles for direct feedback or Q&As. Even Instagram's close friends feature can be used for insider stuff for your most loyal folks.
I can see how that would make people feel pretty special and connected. Any examples of this working?
Yeah, the guide mentioned an eco-boutique called Planet Friendly. They apparently doubled their repeat sales last year after starting a customer Discord.
Doubled repeat sales. How?
They used it for sharing sustainability tips, running recycling challenges, giving sneak peeks. It became a real community hub built around shared values. The members started co-creating content, giving feedback. They became real evangelists.
So it's less about broadcasting at them and more about engaging with them.
Exactly. Use the community for feedback, ask for ideas, show appreciation, shout out active members, celebrate their successes, build those relationships.
Okay, short-form video for reach, micro-communities for loyalty. What else is critical for small businesses on social in 2025?
Authenticity, and really embracing that behind-the-scenes storytelling, pulling back the curtain.
Authenticity is definitely a word we hear a lot. But what does it really mean for a small business on social media now?
It means being genuinely human, transparent. People are tired of the overly polished, impersonal brand stuff. They want to connect with real people.
Right.
The guide talks about the power of imperfect content. Those unscripted moments showing your team how things are actually made, maybe even a small mistake or challenge. It builds trust way faster than a slick ad.
So less perfection, more
Yeah.
realness.
Totally. There's a stat in the guide from Sprout Social. 87% of consumers say they're more likely to buy from a brand they feel an emotional connection with.
87%. That's huge.
It is. And that connection often comes from feeling like the brand is genuine. Sharing real testimonials, doing live Q&As where you answer tough questions, even how you handle negative feedback. That transparency builds massive credibility.
What about things like Instagram stories, the stuff that disappears?
Oh, yeah. Ephemeral content is gold for this.
Yeah.
Stories on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, even Snapchat, they create that sense of urgency, that FOMO fear of missing out.
Right.
Perfect for quick updates, behind-the-scenes snippets, testing ideas quickly. Because they vanish, people check in more often, and engagement tends to be higher.
Okay, be real, show the messy bits, use timely updates. Got it. Now, the guide also talks about AI and automation. This can sound a bit intimidating, maybe?
It can, yeah. But the key message is use AI strategically, but never lose the human touch. AI is your assistant, not your replacement for empathy.
So how can AI actually help a small business without making things feel robotic?
Well, for one, content generation and scheduling. Tools like Buffer, Hootsuite, Sprout Social. They use AI to suggest the best times to post based on your audience.
Okay, that's useful.
They can help find trending topics, suggest content ideas. Some even use predictive analytics to spot patterns that might lead to something going viral. It saves a ton of time.
What about actually talking to customers? Can AI do that?
Yes. Through chatbots and what the guide calls conversational commerce. Think Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram DMs. Chatbots are great for answering FAQs 24/7, maybe qualifying leads.
Right, the simple stuff.
Right. Exactly, but the guide really warns against automating everything, especially high-intent conversations or tricky customer service issues. People know when they're talking to a bot, and for important stuff, that human interaction is still vital for trust.
So AI for efficiency, humans for connection and complex issues.
Pretty much. And AI is also great for smart listening. Tools like BrandWatch, or Mention, can monitor what people are saying about your brand, your competitors, emerging trends, so you can respond quickly and in context.
Like having digital ears everywhere. Okay, another big area is actually selling things directly on social media, right?
Oh, absolutely. Social commerce is huge now. In 2025, customers basically expect to be able to buy right from their feed. It's about removing friction.
So way beyond just a link in the bio.
Way beyond. We're talking full-on shops within Instagram and Facebook where people can browse and check out without leaving the app. Pinterest has shoppable catalogs. TikTok Shop is exploding with in-video tags and live shopping events.
Live shopping. Like QVC, but on TikTok.
Kind of, yeah. And it works. The guide mentions a home decor startup, the Cozy Edit. They saw a 65% higher conversion rate from their Instagram shop compared to their website.
65% higher. Wow. Because it was easier.
Exactly. Less friction, more impulse-friendly. You see it, you like it, you buy it, boom.
So how do you make social commerce work well?
Streamline everything. Use buy now buttons, swipe up links, product tags right in your posts and stories. Make it seamless. Test out live shopping for launches. And definitely use social proof within the shop, user reviews, video testimonials. That builds trust right at the point of purchase.
Makes sense. Make it super easy and trustworthy. Okay, but how do you get new eyes on your products in the first place? Is organic reach enough?
Organic reach, especially through those micro-communities, is still super important for loyalty. But let's be real. In 2025's competitive space, paid social advertising is pretty much essential for faster growth. The key, though, is doing it smarter, not just throwing more money at it.
Okay, smarter paid advertising. What does that actually mean?
It means getting really specific with targeting. Using lookalike audiences based on your best customers, using data about user intent, understanding which platforms are best for who, like LinkedIn for B2B, TikTok for niche consumer groups.
So knowing exactly who you want to reach and using the tools to find them.
Precisely. And in terms of the ads themselves, focus on those short-form videos again. Interactive formats too, carousel ads, shoppable reels, polls, even AR try-on stuff. Platforms tend to reward those with better placement and lower costs.
And what about people who've already visited your site or shown interest?
Retargeting, absolutely crucial. Go after cart abandoners, page viewers, past buyers, but segment them.
Yeah.
Talk to someone who left stuff in their cart differently than you'd talk to a loyal customer, right?
Yeah.
Maybe offer a discount versus a loyalty perk.
Right. Tailor the message. Any quick tips for getting started with smarter ads?
Yeah, the guide suggests starting small. Run micro-budget A/B tests. Try out lots of different visuals, headlines, calls to action with small amounts of money before you scale up the ones that work best.
Okay, wow. That's a lot to take in. Short-form video, micro-communities, being authentic, using AI smartly, seamless social commerce, smarter ads. It really feels like a whole new ballgame.
It really is. 2025 social media is about speed, being agile, but mostly it's about real connection. The old way of just shouting into the void, it just doesn't cut it. You need to build that sense of belonging, be human, use data wisely, and make buying easy.
So it's less about just being on social media and more about being part of the community, being genuinely useful and engaging.
Exactly. Prioritize quality, be ready to experiment, stay true to your brand's mission. That's the path to sustainable growth.
So for everyone listening, maybe the final thought is, which one of these strategies really jumps out at you for your business? What's one small step you could take, maybe even today, to start shifting your social media from just being there to being a real growth driver? Something to mull over.